The LA fires have been burning for the better part of a week, and it's absolutely tragic to see. Now listen, I'm not going to dance around in the ashes here, okay? I'm not going to celebrate people who otherwise would want me destitute, censored, locked up if I wasn't going to participate in a mass medical experimentation, or just simply hate me for my political affiliations. I'm not going to do that because I find that completely and totally distasteful. Even if, some people lost some homes and I wouldn't really shed a tear for them, I would more or less just be ambivalent. I want to specifically look at what precipitated such a bad response to this, leading to very little of the overall proportionality of these fires to be contained, because in recent years, specifically in 2023, in my neck of the woods here in northern Alberta, it was burning all over the place. We had huge fires. It ruined the entire summer. I was damn near close to getting evacuated from my home. It was rough, man. And it's all because of poor forest management, poor planning, not prioritizing the correct stuff by making sure that your firefighters, one of the most dangerous and physically demanding jobs out there, those guys aren't properly trained and compensated. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. It's really not that difficult. Things like this happen. Wildfires have happened for as long as there's been things to catch on fire. This isn't climate change crap. This isn't any sort of man-made phenomenon. We don't know how this got started. I have a couple of ideas, but I think this resident of Los Angeles also has another idea.
Yes, I can hear you.
So the family with the poor little girl who was...
Fire happening right now.
Say that again?
Why is there a fire happening right now?
There are multiple fires that are taking place.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're the news though. You're supposed to know.
Well, I don't know how it started. We don't know how it started. There,
I think
winds.
it's all the gay people in LA.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, that's okay. It could be that, or it could be booing Hulk Hogan at Raw's debut on Netflix. It could be a couple of things, right? But in all honesty, if you want to lay the blame at anybody, you gotta put it at the feet of government mismanagement. I know, we're talking about California, we're talking about Los Angeles specifically, and we're talking about bad government management. I mean, who could have possibly thought? But yeah, looking at those in charge, I mean, is it any wonder why there are so many simultaneous disasters going on, okay? And so hearing from the people that are down there, people who have their heads screwed on, even though they're going through some of the toughest times possible. You've got Zachary Levi, who, as I said, even when he was, really popping off and supporting Trump, I've been a fan of his for a long time. I look down to my complete series of Chuck that's over there. I highly recommend the first 2 seasons. The third is fine. The fourth, I don't really like. I have to go back and actually watch the 5th. But I have them that are down there. And so, yeah, I like Zach. I've liked him for a while. Now that he's talking politics, he actually has like a reasonable perception on things. And he's once again bang on when it comes to assessing Gavin Newsom. Actor Zachary Levi, known for his role in Shazam, and Chuck, claimed that the response from California's political elite, and specifically Gavin Newsom, to the LA fires is criminally negligent. During an appearance on Fox News, Levi began the segment by reminding viewers to keep everyone affected by the fires in your prayers. He then put the blame on California's political elite. I'm in Austin, Texas, and I'm watching the news, and it looks like I'm watching a post-apocalyptic war film. It's so sad, and ultimately, why we've ended up in this place, it's just incredible mismanagement, incredibly poor leadership. Levi then declared, I would go so far as to say that it's criminally negligent because, Gavin Newsom has been either the governor for 5 years, a lieutenant governor prior to that for 8-9 years, and then prior to that, he was also the mayor of San Francisco and the guy who very much laid the groundwork for all of those poor policies being extrapolated across the state, and were slowly working their way across the country until something very recently happened that ended up stemming the tide of that, but I digress. Some of the worst fires we've ever had in California under that watch. He clearly knows the biggest problem that we suffer in California, that these fires, and by the way, the mudslides that follow. Oh yeah, I guess because he introduced all of that additional water over the top of that stuff, so eventually when this stuff and the tinder is put out, we're going to have a lot more unstable ground. And Jesus, man, I didn't even think of that, but that makes a lot of good sense right there. And for them to essentially do nothing about it, but worse than nothing when firefighter budgets are being cut, when they are specifically intentionally and not doing the work that could be done to avoid these problems, or to be able to effectively serve them when they are happening. Yeah, exactly. But that's all right, because you have Gavin Newsom. He's on the ground right now, and he's taking responsibility for some of the shortcomings. Oh no, right? No, he's deflecting responsibility. That's close, right?
What is the situation with the water? Obviously, in Palisades, ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter on this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have a system that's not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's got to be determined by the local.
What is the...
Yeah, that is not my responsibility. It's got to be, it's got to be figured out by the local authorities. You know, it's not like there was a bill that was passed in the state Congress that called for more water retention, and it's not like I haven't acted on that, and it's not like we haven't been through this in like 2018 or anything like that. No, of course not. I mean, I made sure that everybody has appropriate, water fighting bags, right?
What in the world? The firemen don't have hoses, so they're like literally using purses, women's handbags, filling up women's handbags to put out fires. Look.
Now, to be completely honest, okay, now, not 100% true, okay, they are specifically designed, okay, LA Fire Department officials confirmed the handbag seen in the local news reports are actually canvas bags firefighters bring on their engines for various jobs. When tackling small fires, it's easier to quickly fill the bags with water and extinguish the flames than it is to haul out a hose. And I mean, with all of that, the brown and dead grass and shrubbery in the background, I mean, why would you want to water that down to make sure that it doesn't catch on fire again the moment that you guys leave or anything like that, that you just simply want to splash it with handbags full of water? No. But if you guys remember, there was a certain interview that went down, like a couple of weeks before a certain election, and there was a guy that was sitting across from a UFC commentator who was describing poor mismanagement in California and the lack of water, because you heard Gavin Newsom talk about the firefighters are running out of water. It's almost like somebody presaged this by talking about said issue. It's almost like that happened.
They said, "We have no water." I said, "Do you have a drought?" "No, we don't have a drought." I said, "Why don't you have no water?" "Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north of water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. I could have water for all of that land. Water for your forests. Your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You could have everything. Not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires. And there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it.
Huh, weird. It's almost like Trump has been talking about this stuff. I remember him bringing this up during the 2020 debates against Joe Biden, and people were laughing at him. "Oh, he doesn't know anything about, it's climate change, okay, bro? It's not about, he's talking about taking a rake into the forest. What are you doing?" No, it's called, dealing with the underbrush, all the dead foliage. Now, I run through, on a consistent basis, a couple of different, civic parks that are out there, and there's a whole bunch of crap that is there. It needs to get drug. It needs to get cleaned up, because that right there would go up in an instant. I would say that there's more dead trees and more dead shrubbery underneath the living greenery, and it's getting worse. And now spend $300,000 on a couple of dirt piles so kids and their bikes can ride up and down it for 4 months out of the year. You fucking incompetence. But Trump says they spend, all right, okay, billions and billions and billions of dollars on wildfire and firefighting. And it's like, just keep that in your pocket for a minute, because we got to talk about more mismanagement from somebody who's like down there at ground zero, whose home I think has been destroyed. James Woods blasts California Governor Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass for the LA fires. Liberal idiots. Well, I mean, Yeah. Actor James Woods, known for his role as Hades in Hercules, as the team trainer in Any Given Sunday, Sebastian Shark in Shark. Watch that show when it was on. That was pretty good. Blasted California Governor Gavin Newsom and, yes, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass for the fires raging in Los Angeles. On CNN, Woods was emotional as he detailed how his neighbors' homes have gone up in fire. At one point, he shared that his 94-year-old neighbor, who suffers from dementia, had left his home, but fortunately, he was able to contact another neighbor. They located him, and he was evacuated an hour before the house burned down. Jesus Christ. Woods also speculated that his own house likely burned down. At 11:49 last night, all smoke alarms in the house alerted our phones, and our house that we had just renovated for 3 years and had just finally moved into about 3 months ago. All the smoke alarms are going off. Hardly a good sign, so I'm not sure. Wouldn't make any difference because the whole street is burned down, even if you go back to your home. Yeah, fuck, man, that's the shits. In a post on X, Woods replied to a user using the handle Lucifer's tweets. The user wrote, "The irony of James Woods, known for his skepticism about climate change. Yo, man, you need to be... I know that there's a couple of policy changes going over on Meta, but so far Google hasn't made a damn thing about, just even offhanded remarks about what I'd like to see happen to this piece of shit. But, okay, losing his home, the irony, of him losing his home linked to climate change. Right, linked to climate change." Woods replied, "The fire is not from climate change, you ignorant asshole. It's because liberal idiots like you elect liberal idiots like Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass. One doesn't understand the first thing about fire management, and the other can't fill the water reservoirs." Fucking exactly. Because now we can talk about the people directly in charge on that one. And Mayor Karen Bass, okay? I was on my break. Now, to be fair, this isn't a real tweet, but what is real is at the time of all of this stuff going down at the beginning of the week, what was she doing? Mayor Karen Bass, currently in Africa, attending the inauguration of Ghana's new president. Really, as multiple of these fires, because there's a bunch of them going on right now, okay? There's the Palisades fire, the Eaton fire, Lydia fire, like 2 or 3 other ones, and by the time that you guys see this, by the time you see this video, there's very likely more, because those winds have been ridiculous, okay? And just the little fires have been sparking up, okay? Not because of climate change, it's because of the embers in the air are being blown around to other dead shrubbery that has not properly been taken care of, mostly because they don't have the resources to do it. LA Mayor Karen Bass cut fire department funding by $17.6 million, focused on homeless spending. Great. Months before wildfires turned the city into a hellscape, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass faced scorching criticism Wednesday as it revealed she cut the city's fire department budget by $17.6 million ahead of this week's devastating fires, as she prioritized funds for its massive homeless population that largely went unspent. According to a report, it was cut by the second largest in Bass's 24-25 fiscal budget, city figures show, and it wasn't even the gutting she wanted. If she had had her way, the LA Fire Department budget would have been slashed by $23 million. You fucking bitch. LA budgeted $837 million for the bravest in the fiscal year of 23-24, and shockingly 65% of the $1.3 billion slated for the homeless. Wow. A city comptroller study found that nearly half of the funding went unused, according to the outlet, because it needed to be spent according to the other desires of the other members of the city board. Okay, because you got Linda L. Solis, all communities are rich in culture and diversity. Holly J. Mitchell from the 2nd District, Lindsay P. Horvath from the 3rd, Janice Hahn from the 4th, and Catherine Barger from the 5th District. All with certain DEI pledges affixed to their very important work, and I'm sure they're working tirelessly out there, okay, to make sure that this gets handled swiftly and more than 10% of these fires can be properly controlled, because at last I heard, one of the fires had a 10% control. The rest of them are just burning uncontrolled. And why are they burning uncontrolled? Because they're out of water. If you didn't hear it from Gavin Newsom, you can hear it from this you can hear it from this media report, because they're out here trying to run cover for these liberal jackasses fucking up a state.
Former LA mayoral candidate and real estate developer Rick Caruso criticizing the city's response to the windstorm and fires. He says officials should have been more prepared.
Yeah.
real issue to me is twofold. We've had decades to go remove the brush in these hills that spreads so quickly. And the second is you got to have water. And my understanding is the reservoir was not refilled in time and in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going. So that's a failure, whether on DWP's part or another city agency. But this is basic stuff. This isn't high science here. And it's all about leadership and management that we're seeing a failure of. And all of these residents are paying the ultimate price for that.
Despite what you have heard from Caruso, no firefighters have told us that they are running out of water.
That's the shot. Here's the chaser.
And let's go out to Gigi Graciette. She is live in Pacific Palisades. I know your signal's not the best, but Gigi, what can you tell us?
Well, firefighters have told me they have no water on this block, and you may be able to...
Dun 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 dun. I mean, Jesus Christ, man, California. Thank God the family that I have in that state live a little bit north of that, so things aren't quite as bad quite yet. But who knows, man? Because with leadership like this, I mean, is there any reason to think that this won't spread to the rest of the state? Okay? Because I can't quite speak for the one in the middle, but the one on the left right there, we've got Los Angeles' first LGBTQ plus fire chief is proving lesbians get it done amid the Palisades fires. This is what they're prioritizing, huh? This is the most important thing. Stereotype of lesbians always being prepared for an emergency. There's a stereotype for that. You know, when they have a falling out with their girlfriend, they always have a contingency plan because they know where to properly hire a U-Haul on very short notice, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Very glad that's the person who's in place. Or what about that fridge-sized individual out there on the right on the previous picture, okay? What about their response?
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody...
Okay, cool. In my neck of the woods, there's some great big fat bitches. Okay, like there's some big women out here. Who looks like you? Okay, and if you're responding to a call, okay, as a firefighter, and you're seeing somebody that looks like you, and that's your physique. This is the type of response, and this is the type of help you're about to receive.
You might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or, you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire. Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Got himself in the wrong place if I got to carry him out of a fire. What are you implying by that? Is this an assistant police chief? Or, I'm sorry, an assistant fire chief who's out here victim blaming? Oh, that's very interesting. Long story short, what's going to end up happening with this, okay? This is a very similar situation. Something else that we have also seen and drawn allusions to, something that happened, what was it, last year or the year before? I think it was the year before, but I don't quite remember specifically. It was the Hawaii fires when Maui burnt and The Rock and Oprah tried to grift off of something. It was absolutely disgusting, but the less than quick response from the Democratic government at the state level and the federal level led a lot of people to be disillusioned. And you would have thought that, you know, hey, maybe they would have wanted some things to change. Okay? Maybe they think that it's about time to stop voting blue no matter who. Maybe it's about time to start holding these people responsible and not giving them a blank check to go ahead and continue to ruin your already ruined state. Epic Adam Carolla ran from a hotel after the LA wildfires forced him to evacuate from his home, where he predicts Hollywood leftists will be so frustrated by the rebuild effort that they will not vote the Democrat. You guys all voted for Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. You all voted for Gavin Newsom, and now you get what you fucking get. And now you get your house on fire. So here's what's going to happen. All these people are deep blue Democrats are now going to have to pull a permit to rebuild. And they're going to have to go and get a 28-year-old bitch from coastal commissions telling them to go fuck off. And then they're going to vote for Trump or whoever's a Trumpian next. And when they start getting the regulation, they're going to go nuts. And when they start running into the bureaucracies and the red tape, they're going to start going nuts. And then they're going to vote for Rick Caruso next time. They're going to find out. They're going to get bit by their own snake. They're going to convert. I'm telling you, these are the bluest people on the planet, and they're going to fucking rip shit pissed when the city and the coastal commissions tell them to fuck off. We're going to have to restructure the whole thing because we can't have 9 angry lesbians controlling everything that goes on in Malibu. I don't even think that that's being hyperbolic. The Palisades and Santa Monica. This is why Californians pay the highest taxes, and so their government can completely fail them in their time of need. Now, here's the thing. Like, great rant, great sentiments put forward by one of the best podcasters currently going in Adam Carolla. It's just, we've seen this response from Hawaii. What ended up happening? They voted all down ticket blue once again, because in reality, yeah, you got a bunch of different Hollywood celebrities who would vote blue no matter who. They had lost their homes in conjunction with James Woods. Okay, like, he's definitely an outlier. But let's keep it a buck. Are they going to have to go through any of the red tape that normal people are going to have to? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Are these people who have seen their lives, seen their bank balances precipitously go down because of state level, local level, and federal level taxes come in and totally erode their savings? They didn't give a shit. California still overwhelmingly voted for Adam Schiff. Overwhelmingly voted for Kamala Harris. Overwhelmingly voted to retain Gavin Newsom. These people are ideologically fucked. And so even if California is burning down, they will literally be the meme. They will have their entire house on fire and just sit straight forward, sip their coffee, and go, this is fine. Everything is fine. They're never going to change, even if they get burnt out of their house. So my sympathies go to the people that have been affected by this. This absolutely sucks. This is government mismanagement, if you voted for it or not. It's about time we start holding these people accountable, because it won't come from within, so it's going to have to come abroad, not the ones that are in charge. And that's a big part of the problem. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.